We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
It's Hodge Watch. The Dan Hodge 2024 trophy for NCAA wrestling is going to be announced next week. And we are going to talk about the 5 finalists that were announced. Before we do so, though, check out the Cactus Etsy store. Cactus
Hey.
Wrestling merch is now available for purchase. And I have to mention this. I made a post about it today, but anyone who has ever had anyone we've coached who has ever worn this at a tournament has been approached and asked, "Yo, where'd you get that shirt? I'll trade you something for
Well,
that."
actually, Tom Lucci traded his Cactus singlet for some singlet that I don't even think he even owns anymore.
There you go.
No.
There you go.
It's from
So if you want to be the
Traded
coolest person in town, buy yourself some Cactus Wrestling gear. Check it out. It's on Etsy. Link in the description below. Anyway, let's talk about the Hodge. So right off the gate, big difference from last year. Last year they had all 10 champions as finalists. This year they just did the undefeated wrestlers
They did Penn State +1.
and Carter Shirachi. And for those wondering, Carter Shirachi was not undefeated this year. He technically lost 2 matches, but for the Hodge, they put that in asterisk and said, no, 2 injury defaults. Those don't actually count as losses in our mind.
It's a loss as a loss. Like,
Where do we start with this?
it counts on your record. It counts on your record. So I don't even think he should be on there because of that.
Did Zach Glazier beat AJ Ferrari? Yes. Did he score more points than him? No. But he beat him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think with Carter too,
The win's a win.
The thing with Carter as well, though, is that like this is the first year that they're actually making like injuries count. The double loss, like where it's a med forfeit and it's an injury default loss. Like it's not last season where you could be like, oh, he med forfeited out and it doesn't count as a loss. This year it actually does count as a loss.
Yeah, so I feel like Hodge are disservicing their own.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it sucks for Carter.
He shouldn't have got hurt. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
part of the sport is continuing to go through it, and I know that he might be like, oh, I could have wrestled at Big Tens, and maybe he could have. Although he did talk about in his NCAA interviews that only 12 days earlier he wasn't walking.
He was on crutches.
Who's to say that it wasn't the right move for his nationals? But
I don't think he should be on here because Yanni didn't even come close to winning the Hodge, and because he had a loss.
Well, it comes down to the criteria right here. So record
is the first one. Why would a guy with 2 losses be even considered with 4 undefeated guys?
Especially since there's no past performances. It's literally record, which Carter Shirachi has 2 losses. Everyone else is undefeated. So by that logic, he should be out of the running.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have even been in the running.
Yeah. Dominance, bonus points percentage, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Quality of competition, and then sportsmanship. Do you really think sportsmanship, how do you outweigh Aaron Brooks's sportsmanship to Parker Kekaisen's?
I just feel like they have to put it in as a criteria for something. They're like, that's our tiebreaker, and we won't tell you the criteria for it.
Also, are those 4 criteria 25% each?
Oh, there's
no, because there's a fan vote. Didn't you say the fan vote is worth a certain percentage?
Oh yeah, the fan vote I think is worth it's for 5 first place ballots.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's get into the candidates. So Levi Haynes, undefeated.
He also has the lowest amount of bonus percentage.
Well, we haven't got to Carter yet. Levi Haynes, 23-0, 65% bonus, 5 pins, 5 techs, 5 majors. Very consistent.
5.
Now we'll go to Carter, 64%, which I believe is the lowest. Yes, the lowest of these 5. So he's now losing on 2 of the 4 criteria. And sportsmanship, I don't know how you could put a guy who pisses on the grave of a true freshman as a high level of sportsmanship.
Of the finalists, he's number 5. He shouldn't even be on the list.
Yeah, quality of competition is maybe the only thing he has going for him, beating 2 former NCAA champions.
But it's not even like they're the returning champs. It was 2 former champs from like 3+ years ago. So
Yeah, but I mean, they're still champs.
I'm not saying they're not, but
Yeah. Parker Keckeisen 31-0, the only guy on here with 30 plus wins.
So I actually saw on WrestleStat it shows that he only has 28 wins, which is why I'm confused where they're getting the
So
difference.
in this graphic, I was just reading that too, because in this graphic it also says 28-0. So
yeah, so that's like I was just a little confused because the numbers on WrestleStat and other numbers I've seen
they
show it
sprinkled a
different.
few extra wins there on
And
for
that's what I'm
Parker.
kind of wondering. Like, okay, where am I missing the matches?
but even still, I mean, his bonus, he's got what?
That's 28 out of 31.
Yeah, but if he only has 28 matches, that would be 100%. That's not right either, because he doesn't
Yeah,
have
well, that's what
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is a little off. Aaron Brooks, 22-0, 90%. Either way, 90. I mean,
I think on WrestleStat, those two are both at 90 point something.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron was a little bit. It was like point like something higher, but it was in Brooks's favor on WrestleStat when I checked last.
Brooks does have 4 more pins, which usually goes a long way for Hodge voting. And
Tech falls are badass. I mean,
well,
that's
Parker
pretty cool.
has more.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's pretty awesome.
And then Greg, 20-0, 70%, 2 pins, 4 and 8.
I mean, if you go by, yeah,
Probably the most riding time as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. All of those bonus, like who got the most bonus matches, that's impressive with Parker.
So this was updated today, updated March 28th. And
Greg gets no love.
Yeah,
yeah, Greg.
Imagine being Levi.
205 votes. Damn, he gets nothing. Like he goes undefeated, has a better bonus percentage than both of his teammates that are ahead of him, and yet he's the last of the three.
I think having Mason, not Mason Paris, Lucas Davison in the finals, people were probably like, yeah, that was, it was the 10 seed, probably not the greatest level of competition. Colton Schultz. Other weights like Levi had to go through a gauntlet at 157, and you could say the same about Carter, I guess, too. Surprising that Carter's number 3 on the. Well, I'm actually not surprised because people love this dude.
He's so popular, yeah.
Yeah. But this is kind of what I expected. Brooks to be in the lead, Keckeisen right behind. I think anyone who's not a Penn State fan's voting for Keckeisen, and then the Penn State fans are mostly going Brooks here, I think.
Yeah, and then if Brooks wins the Hodge, Parker's going to be like, even when we're in different weight classes, he beats me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a cherry.
I don't even have to wrestle him for him to beat me.
This is just a cherry on top. Parker has another year left, so he could have his chance next year. People are saying, like, if Brooks is at 84, Keckeisen wouldn't even have won, which,
yeah,
I mean, he's beaten him before, so that's probably accurate, but
only 9 times in a row.
Yeah.
Well, that's like saying, if Kyle Dake wasn't in David Taylor's weight class, David Taylor would have won.
Yeah.
It's
like
it doesn't discredit Parker being a good wrestler.
Yeah, we're not going to play the what if game. That's there's too many variables there. So
we leave that for someone else.
So I mean, my pick, if I had to use all the data that we just talked about, I would say I'm 99% sure that Aaron Brooks is going to win the Hodge.
Oh, I would say Aaron. Yeah, I agree. Aaron Brooks is going to win, but if you go purely by the numbers, like Parker Keckeisen is literally like tit for tat with him. Like,
definitely,
everything is like even. Like if you didn't have the names and it was just the stats of wrestler A and wrestler B, I'd be interested to see how it went, because I don't know that it would go necessarily. Like Brooks is going to win it. I don't know that it would overwhelmingly go to Brooks if it was purely based on just like the stats without having their names attached to it.
I think there's yeah. Go ahead.
I was say that could be a fun way if they ever wanted to do the Hodge like that, where they just list the stats and they don't actually give the names. You have to just vote on who you think is the more dominant wrestler.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone would be able to discern who's who, but still.
Yeah. So drop a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win the Hodge this year? I think it's pretty clear cut who it's going to be, but
Austin Gomez.
yeah.
Austin Gomez for Hodge. Oh wait, he didn't win.
It's funny.
How
I
come Henson didn't get on here? Oh, because he had a loss. But
I
yeah,
do I do want to mention this. I did a poll of who the MOW should have been, and there was some interesting comments. I said, who deserves most outstanding wrestler for the NCAA championships? 52% out of 380 said Aaron Brooks, followed by Carter Strachey 17%, David Carr 16%, Kekheisen 12, and Levi Haynes 3%. I only did 5 because that's the only what YouTube allowed me to do. But like someone said, I'm trying to find the comment here. Can I ask why Greg isn't up there? He was undefeated and even majored Davison in the finals. No veto, crazy. But the one that really had me baffled was someone said KSAP.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think they might have deleted it. I don't see it anymore.
They were like Tyler Kasak. He would have won it had he ran into Henson.
That was
Henson's not even good.
Was that on a different video? Maybe?
I'm thinking that was a different thread because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's like,
I remember that.
Kasak is 99% better than Henson. I'm like,
yes,
dude, like give this guy some credit. Like he just
I was like, Henson didn't lose. Kasak, you lost to a boss.
Someone commented like, "Oh, Henson looking down from the podium at KSAC reading this."
Yeah, exactly. But I'm pretty sure someone said KSAC should be MOW for the incredible run he went on. I'm like, he lost the match. what do you mean talking about here?
Yeah, most outstanding consolation guy, maybe, but
yeah,
who was it? I'm surprised David Carr wasn't voted higher.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like you beat a 2-time champ.
Yeah, beating Keegan, especially after Keegan had beaten the last few times, is tough.
Yeah, like you beat a 2-time champ, and then you also beat the undefeated freshman who had been working people. Like,
yeah,
I mean, not to knock 97, but like, feel like a 2-time champ compared to a guy that's a 2-time runner-up is.
Yeah, but think of who he's a 2-time runner-up to.
To himself. Yeah, Brooks beat the same guy.
Right. So if Brooks wasn't there, Hidley could be a 2-time champion.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So
yes, so like if David Carr wasn't there, Keegan O'Toole would be a 3-time champ, or would he?
Maybe.
would Mesenbrink have broke him like Carr did? And
yeah, I mean, if his conditioning looked the way it did against David Carr, I think he would have definitely broken him.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of what was the score when he broke.
That's it.
So drop a comment down below. Who's winning the Hodge Trophy? Who deserves?
I'd like to see Parker win it, but he won't.
Yeah, I think Aaron Brooks is pretty.
Yeah, like I've been
I think the
pushing
quality of
Brooks
competition.
The preseason that Brooks should win the Hodge.
Yeah, you have.
You have, but, to be fair, yeah.
Like I've been saying it, since anytime we ever mentioned anything, I was like, I don't understand why Carter's ahead of Brooks. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but based on this
more impressive things left and right.
Based on this voting, he's got 7% and he has 2 technical losses. I bet if he wins the Big Ten championship, Carter wins this thing.
Yeah.
That would...
Or they would give a co like they did with Spencer.
But why? Why do people like Carter more than Brooks?
Because you got personality.
Yeah.
Oh, because he pisses on the graves.
Yeah. People love that. Anyway, drop a comment down below. And thanks for watching Cactus Wrestling.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.